A very good afternoon, and let me now discuss the remaining part of the chapter, the Ailing Planet, chapter number 5 from Hornbill. Hereby I am sharing the screen with you. Yes, so I will be dealing with from page number 46. Whatever I discussed in a bit of summary, I will be now discussing it from the text. I hope the content is visible to you. See, it is written that a 3-year study using satellites and aerial photography was conducted by the United Nations. As I told you already in that summary portion, I discussed about it that the United Nations conducted a 3-year study, and obviously satellites and aerial photography was being taken into consideration, and finally after that detailed survey that was being conducted by the United Nations, they warned that the environment has deteriorated so badly that it is critical in many of the 88 countries investigated. Now this is something very, very important, that they finally came to the conclusion that 88 countries investigated, the environmental condition is very, very critical. Okay, now let me move on. That particular this particular paragraph is very, very important. This one, it was a thorough survey that was being done by United Nations, and finally they came to the conclusion that environmental condition has deteriorated in many of the 88 countries. That means 88 countries were put under the scanner. Okay, now I am scrolling a bit down. There can be no doubt that the growth of world population is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society. Distorting, or we can say destroying the future, and world population is one of the most strongest factor. It took mankind more than 1,000,000 years to reach first billion. This is something very, very important. So it took 1,000,000 years to reach first billion. That was the world population around the year 1800. So around the year 1800 it was 1 billion. But surprising element was that 100 years later, that means by the year 1900, a second billion was added, and by the 20th century we find that almost 3.7 billion was added. Okay, so these are some of the facts and figures that you have to memorize. There is no other alternative, you have to memorize it. Now the present world population, it is estimated at 5.7 billion. Now if you Google it, you might find that it is almost 7.8, 7.9, but we will be focusing on the estimates been given by Nani Palkhiwala, because he had written it way back in 1990s, in the early 1990s. So these are some of the facts and figures that you have to take into consideration. Okay, every 4 days the world population increases by 1 million. So after every 4 days, this is another important part that you have to underline in your text. Every time whenever there will be a live class, okay, text and a pencil should be by your side, and obviously apart from that you should have a copy and a pen also, because you can jot down some important notes while I am highlighting some important portion from the text. You can underline with your pencil. These things are very important. So every 4 days the world population increases by 1 million. Okay, now fertility falls as income rises, or income rise, education spreads, and health improves. So this is something very, very important. So fertility rate falls, obviously income it rise, education spreads, and obviously health also improves. Thus development can be termed to be the best contraceptive. Development is termed to be the best contraceptive. So if development is required, then obviously population control is a must. Now population owned control is obviously population increases, then there won't be any sort of development as such. See, but see, this line is important, and hereby I am underlining this line. But development itself may not be possible if the present increase in numbers continues. Yes, now see, development won't be possible if population numbers means if population goes on increasing, then development won't be possible. Ultimately, what will happen? The same old story, the rich will get richer and the poor, they will beget more children, which ultimately will condemn them to remain poor. Okay, the rich will get richer, okay, and the poor will go on reproducing. Beget means they will go on reproducing more children, and ultimately what will happen? They will remain more poor, because they have they believe that more children, ultimately it will be more workers, ultimately they will be doing work, and ultimately they will bring money for the family. But they don't realize that more children ultimately means more people without work. Okay, see, more children does not mean more workers, it means more people without work, or in other words, it can be more mouths to feed. More children ultimately means more mouths to feed, or rather more people without work. It is not suggested that human beings be treated like cattle and compulsorily sterilized, just like in order to restrict or in order to control the breeding mechanism in cattle, okay, or the process of breeding in cattle. What the cattle are done? The cattle are compulsorily sterilized. Okay, now human beings, can we opt for compulsorily sterilization process in case of human beings? No. There is no alternative to voluntary family planning. So ultimately what should be done? We should actually involve in voluntary family planning, because ultimately the choice depends on us. Okay, that what we require, what we want. Do we want control of population, or do we want perpetuation of poverty? What exactly we want? Do you want poverty? No. Then what we want? We want stability within our country, stability within the world. Okay, so ultimately what should be done? Population has to be controlled. If population explosion happens, then obviously there will be poverty. Okay, perpetuation of poverty means continuation of poverty. We don't want continuation of poverty, and that is the reason population control is a must. Now, the population of India is estimated to be 920 million, stated here in the text, more than the entire populations of Africa and South America combined together. That means if we combine the population of Africa and South Africa together, then also it is not exceeding the population of India. The population of India is much more than the population of Africa and South America combined or put together. So no one familiar with the condition in India would doubt that the hope of the people would die in their hungry hutments unless population control is given topmost priority. A foreigner may not realize it, but we Indians, being in our own country, we can realize that population control must be given topmost priority. It is a necessary, okay, that population control must be given topmost priority. If not, then many of the dreams, desires, hopes and aspirations of the people will die. Even people will suffer because of lack of food also. Okay, so ultimately what is to be done? Population control should be given the topmost priority, or rather to say, population control should be given the topmost necessity, because ultimately our concern has shifted. We have become very much progressive in terms of environment and ecology. We have become very much progressive, okay, because now we are not only concerned about our survival, but we are concerned about the survival of the planet Earth. And see, this environmental problem does not mean that it is related to our downfall. But ultimately, if it goes on in this way, because ultimately the legacy will be shifted, okay, from one generation to the other generation. Ultimately, it is the environmental problem. This is a very important line. I am just highlighting it. The environmental problem does not necessarily signal our demise. Actually, it is our passport for the future, because ultimately the legacy will be transferred, right? So this era of responsibility has emerged, and we should be all responsible. And most important thing is that we should consider the world as an integrated whole, rather than considering it as a fragmented collection of parts. We should consider the world as an integrated whole. And remember, industry and factories plays a very important role. Ultimately, proper growth of industries and factories will help in business and economics. We know it very well. So according to Mr. Edgar, I was talking about him, our continued existence as a leading manufacturer requires that we excel in environmental performance. Obviously, we have to excel in environmental performance, then only, and not only that, we have to create products, those products are eco-friendly. Okay, ultimately the products that are environmentally very much supported for the environment or eco-friendly, those products ultimately will help in the excel in environmental performance, because this is required. Ultimately that will lead to proper business, growth of business, okay, in terms of business, in terms of economics also, in terms of industry also. And remember Margaret Thatcher, she told that no generation has a free access on this earth. No, if we think that we have authoritative power, then we are wrong. We don't have any authoritative power. We don't have any free access on this earth. We are all its custodians. It is our duty, it is our moral and ethical responsibility to actually protect it, okay, actually protect the mother environment. And according to the words of Lester Brown, we have not inherited this earth from our forefathers. We have borrowed it from our children. Now, actually, there is no question of inheritance or no question of getting inherited. So we have not inherited this earth from our ancestors. We have developed it, we have made it progressible so that it is accessible to the future, because for the present generation the natural resources are to be accessible, and also for the future generation also the natural resources must be made accessible. Okay, so with that this chapter ends. In my next class tomorrow I will be dealing with Mother's Day, and again next week I will be dealing with Hornbill, and in my next week from Hornbill I will be dealing with the poem The Voice of the Rain, written by Walt Whitman. Okay, thank you Aditi for a patient hearing. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.